Okay, welcome everybody. Tonight's meeting is a public hearing. It is held in pursuant with the Municipal Government Act. I hereby declare the public hearing related to Bylaw 050225, amending Land Use Bylaw 11-2019, now open at 6:30. So the following rules of conduct will be followed during the public hearing. Presentations should be brief and to the point and will be limited to a maximum of 5 minutes in length. The order of presentations will be administration. Those in favor of the bylaw, 05-2025, amending bylaw, and those opposed to the bylaw. Any other persons deemed to be affected by the bylaw, the amending land use bylaw, council may ask questions of the speaker after each presentation for clarification purposes. The public hearing purpose is to receive comments from any interested parties on the proposed bylaw, the amending land use bylaw. There will be no debating of the bylaw, 05-2025, amending land use bylaw. Interested parties are only permitted to speak once at the public hearing unless asked to answer a question directly.
Okay, thank you, Your Worship. The purpose of Bylaw 05-2025, amending land use bylaw, is to prescribe and regulate for each district the purpose for which land and building may be used. The proposed amendments to the land use bylaw will change Lot 23, Block 37, Plan 132-0943 from institutional to medium-density residential district, R3. Lot 25, Block 37, Plan 132-0943 from institutional to medium-density residential district, R3. Lot 26, Block 37, Plan 132-0943 from institutional to medium-density residential district, R3. Lot 27, Block 37, Plan 132-0943 from institutional to medium-density residential district, R3. The first reading was given on April 28, 2025. Notice of this public hearing was advertised in the News Advertiser for 2 consecutive weeks, May 7th, 2025 and May 14th, 2025. The public hearing was advertised on all Town of Vegreville social media channels. Copies of Bylaw 02-2025 were available for viewing on the town's website and available for pickup at the town office. Letters were circulated to 6 of the 6 adjacent properties by hand on May 8th, 2025.
Does the administration have any comments?
Not at this time.
Okay, is there anyone present who supports this bylaw who wishes to speak? Okay. So we have 3 speakers that are opposed to the bylaw, and we'll have them come up and try to hold your comments to 5 minutes, and we'll start with David Smith.
Good evening, Town Council and invited guests, everybody. I'm not very good at public speaking, but I'm going to try. I'm a resident of Horizon Village, and I feel that rezoning the residential district to R3 could be a deterrence to the residents of Horizon Village. Apparently, there's supposed to be duplex units going in, and is that going to be allocated for low income or what? We don't know, but I'm concerned about the possibility of a higher crime rate in our area and devaluation of Horizon Village properties that may occur because of this. Aside from that, apparently you guys want to take part of the parking lot of the Senior Sunshine Club for access to the condo units, and that's going to affect the accessibility for the seniors with, say, disability issues and what have you. And that, they'd be forced to park on the street or on 49th or 47th Avenue if the parking lot should fill up for, say, a bowling bonspiel or, curling bonspiel and other, like dances and things like that. So I just have an issue with this, so I just thought I would present it, and thank you very much for allowing me to speak.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions of Mr. Smith? Go ahead, Councillor Bullock.
Hey, David.
Can't hear you, Len, but I can hear you.
Okay, I'll speak into the mic. So
Yep.
you didn't hear that the proposal would have been about duplexes. Did you hear anything else? The proposal that was brought was about duplexes, so I just wanted to clarify that. That's
Yes.
what you didn't understand?
That's what we had heard, so.
Okay.
And apparently from what we heard too, they also have a builder already secured to build them. From what I've heard, I don't know if that's right or not.
Just so there's just not a lot of bouncing back and forth here. We've seen 4 different concepts of what may go in there.
I see.
For us to make a land sale, it's dependent on the rezoning. The lot size has never changed. The lot has been the lot size forever. So we don't have to subdivide or anything like that. It's the zoning. They constantly work with our infrastructure and planning department, trying to come up with what they think is going to work on that site. And of course, we have checks and balances.
Yep.
They have to splice so much parking, and they have to do everything. The setbacks have to be, so when they have a different design, they bring it over.
Yeah.
And these are the checks and balances that works. No different than Horizon Village was built. You understand, you're the same zoning, and everything was built, and at the time, I would imagine their neighbors across the street, north and south, had the same complaints. But the checks and balances are built within our ID&P department.
Okay.
So a developer has to play by the rules. So we have all the control there. So the concepts that we've seen now, when they brought them back, it's like, this is probably not going to work. You can't build this close.
Okay.
So, that's the checks and balances in the system. So if everybody that says there's going to be 6 duplexes and they're going to park on the street, that's not true. We don't know exactly what it is, but the zoning is what we need to move forward. And then the town, Director Lefebvre's department takes over, and then we have the power to say that would work under this zoning.
Okay.
So just as long as everybody understands that, I don't want to go back and forth all like the rest of the hearing with people thinking, well, this is not going to work, because we're not there yet.
Okay.
For them to purchase the property, that needs to be the zoning first.
All right. Thank you very much, Mayor McPhee. Appreciate that.
You're welcome.
And all the others, town's council. So, any other questions? Okay. I'll shut this off.
Thank you very much. Okay, next up, Mrs. Carter.
Good evening. I am here just as a concerned community member regarding the recent decision by the town to rezone this portion. And I'm more concerned about the Veterans Park. It's sat empty for how many years now? And now that it's redesigned and beautiful trees are in there, now we're going to dismantle that portion of it. I'm not exactly sure where this is going to start on our side on the veterans side, and where it's going to end. But I just don't understand why it is happening there when there's lots all over Vegreville that are for sale. That why that would be considered to chop up that green space to put in a community living or a single-family living unit. I just urge people to voice their opinions, and I'm asking for an extension so that I can get some paper out there, maybe some signatures, and then base our opinion on that, or our decision on how many people agree or disagree.
Okay, anybody has any questions for Mrs. Carter? Go ahead, Councillor Lemko.
I just, I noticed in your letter, you talk about the sake of development, convenience, and profit, nothing short of disgrace, regarding our disrespect for the history and sacrifice. You don't know how we feel about our veterans. You have no idea.
I have a pretty good idea how I feel, and that's what this is
Well,
based on.
I'm speaking about how I feel. And to read that kind of is disappointing for me. I look around the room, the 80th anniversary of D-Day at the Cenotaph, the 80th anniversary of VE Day just recently. There's not one person in this room besides 4 councillors that attended that at the Cenotaph. None of you, even though you live right across the road. And you're making that statement about us disrespecting. I've been to Vimy Ridge. I've been to D-Day, Juno Beach. I've been to concentration camp in Czechoslovakia. I've been to the War Museum in Ottawa. I've been to the Ottawa Memorial on the street. I care deeply about the veterans, and to read this is hurtful, really.
It is hurtful to ruin that park that we've just got going and is beautiful
well-
now, and people use it every day.
Yep, and I understand, and you'll probably hear some more about the town's position on that park at a later date. But I just wanted you guys to know how I feel about our veterans.
Thank you.
Councillor Barry.
Thank you, Worship. I'll echo those sentiments. I lost several uncles, aunts, and other relatives fighting that war, and I go to these ceremonies to pay respect to them. I have grandfather who fought in the First World War. I also have relatives who fought in the Boer War, and I also have relatives that went to the Korean War, and I had a brother that served in the Navy. So when it comes to veterans, I'm well aware of what veterans mean to me. So I think the aspect is I really would appreciate that citizens would take the time to actually ask questions before they criticize,
Well, it's
because the park is not being taken away.
a good portion of it will be.
No.
Just so you know, Mrs. Carter, like, we've talked to the Legion and the executive. There was never any miscommunication of where the land that was made into a park, the size of this lot has never changed. You know that. And they knew, just like everybody else, that we're told, that that land was put aside for a daycare.
And a daycare would have been better than a,
And up till, I would say, 8 months ago, we were working with the daycare people. But now we have 2 proposed daycares that are going ahead in Vegreville. So, and it's, the Legion knew when they were developing.
I'm not here on the Legion's behalf.
Okay. I just want you to know that we've spoken with the executive, and if this goes ahead, we have measures in place, how we're gonna assist them, and the line is not a lot that they're losing in the pavement. So we're already working with them to go forward with this. The other land that we're talking about belongs to all the taxpayers in Vegreville. And those lot sizes have not changed since that land was given to the Legion and when they asked permission to put that park in. This lot size has never changed.
Correct.
I just want everybody to know that. We're not taking away the land where they develop in the park. They've extended it a bit, and that'll have to be fixed, and we'll assist in that, so.
Yes, as far as I understand, it's the arbor on the east side will have to be taken down.
I imagine it can be just moved a bit, yeah.
And the trees, will you move them or what?
You have a small tree spade, or we can do with a rubber tire hoe. Like I said, we've already made these arrangements and talked to the executive at the Legion. They know full well where their lot line is.
Yes, I understand the zoning part of it, I just don't understand why they're at this time. When there's lots are all the way around town that could be sold. Or bought. And I'm
Well,
actually
if they
asking
wanted to
for
buy
an
someplace else, I guess they would have talked to the owners of that land. But this is the land that they chose, and this is why we're here today.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
you're welcome.
Okay, Shirley, you're up next.
Good evening, Mayor McPhee, members of council, and the Planning and Development Committee. I wrote a letter, and then I learned a little more, so I made a different set of notes here. The proposed amendment to Land Use Bylaw 11/2019 needs more scrutiny as it affects the Senior Citizens Sunshine Club, the Cenotaph Park, the Lions Splash Park, and the residents of Century Park and Vegreville Care Center, as well as homeowners in the area. And these are the points I'd like to make. The area in question encroaches on the senior center by taking away, and I apologize for this because you just said it didn't take away, it never was there. It's a 10-foot strip out of the parking lot, because I walked over there today when the surveyor was out there, and he showed me exactly where the lines were drawn. And it's a 10-foot strip, which really cuts down on the parking lot. And by taking this away, it'll affect, parking when the seniors come out, and when we have rentals. That parking lot is very important to us. Okay, now the park will lose the pathway and the park benches and the trees and shrubs on the north end of the park. And that's sad for those who have worked so hard to develop it. But again, you answered that question by saying that it's not really theirs to have developed. Now, there's a safety issue here. Children using the Lions Splash Park and the playground enter the park from 47th Avenue. Many cross 49th Street. An increase in traffic poses a safety concern for those children. And another point here is about Century Park and its residents and the residents of the Vegreville Care Center. The noise, the increase in traffic will be disturbing and stressful, and they're old people and they don't need that. Now, in lieu of rezoning, it would be more respectful if the area would remain a green space and consideration given to creating and developing something that can be used by the senior club or by other residents, like lawn bowling area, bocce ball, horseshoes, badminton. All of us, I was young like you once too. Doesn't take long to become a senior. And it's very important for us to have that something for the seniors. And doing something like the lawn bowling or having that area, instead of going into housing, just have an extension of the park, just have it part of the senior center there. And as so many have said, and I'm going to repeat it, there are so many areas other than that can be developed, more accessible with roads and sidewalks. There are no roads leading into that area. You would have to come in from the back on 47th, because all of a sudden you run into the private area of Century Park. And that's about all I wanted to say. You have my letter, I think. You've had a chance to read it, and I thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to speak and express my opinion.
Just 1 second, Shirley. Does anybody have a question? No? Thank you very much for your presentation, and we did receive your letter. Okay, is there any written submissions related to this public hearing?
Yes, Your Worship. To date, 6 written submissions have been received. There are 0 in favor and 6 opposed to the subject matter of the public hearing. Do the members of council have any further questions?
Go ahead, Councillor Rudick.
We are restricted by the parameters of what a public hearing is, and so in essence, we're not supposed to express our opinion, which is why I haven't asked any questions. So thank you all for attending. My question would be maybe to our administrative staff. At this point, is the developer only purchasing this property based on the rezoning of this particular parcel of land? Does anybody know that? The developer is only interested if it's rezoned.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
Has anybody else tried to purchase this property
Yes.
recently?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I guess that would be the question. I think the challenge here as council is we don't have a visual of the actual property in front of us right now to be able to share with the public. It was in the advertisement, but it's very difficult to see where the encroachments might be from other users of that space. And developers may have been working with a realtor to find other properties in town, but there aren't very many properties that would fit their proposed development. So do we know if the developer has looked at the other vacant lots in town?
I can say that the developer is a local business and knows exactly every piece that's for sale in this town. And they've been in our community for 50 years.
Okay, thank you, Your Worship. And I guess the other piece that I would just, sorry, Mr. Austin, I'll speak louder. Sorry. The other piece, yeah, they're good for online if you're watching, so maybe not so good in person. The challenge for a public hearing like this is that we get to listen. It is our opportunity as council to hear what the public would have to say, and maybe won't feel as satisfying as a phone conversation that maybe I've had with some of you prior to this evening's meeting. But I would encourage any of you, if you have ongoing concerns, to reach out to administration and to council to make sure that we understand what it is exactly about this development that is concerning to you.
I just lost the meeting here. So I just want everybody to know that the letters that we received from the Lawrences, Zomac, Austin, and Tronchuk, we all have them in our package, and we've all read them, and we know exactly what the concerns that you're bringing up. And we considered everything prior to even going forward with what this may look like. So when we come to the second reading of this bylaw, we will have open discussion in the next meeting. This hearing, I know it seems weird, but this is not the place to have this discussion. So once we start the next meeting and we have the second and third reading of this bylaw is when we will openly discuss it as I guess, the council. Okay, do we have any other further comments? Grayson, you would like to say something? You're not on the agenda, but come on up to the microphone. We got a few minutes left.
On now. Hello. Hello, Council. My name is Grayson Sprovich. I just live on 4905, 45th Ave, just across the street. Look, I guess I'll start with, look, I know there's pros and cons to every decision, so mostly we're representing the cons, so I'm not going to act like there's not pros. Definitely, things cost a lot of money these days, so rezoning is obviously, there's definitely pros to that. I guess my only concern and comments would be, I guess back in the day, you know, that area, it was, whether it was property tax dollars or grants from the federal government that ultimately come from personal income taxes, money was spent on the pavement and trees. So there was a cost to that area. And then next, I guess, the town got a piece of that 200,000 Alberta Community Partnership Grant. I'm not sure how much. I mean, basically, it was for the survey to get people's opinions on, you know, what matters, what do we need to fix, what do we need to improve, kind of stuff like that. And outdoor trails and playgrounds was the number 3 priority. 62% of people said they see value in improving that. It was actually my number 1. I remember taking the survey. So I guess my only comments would be, you know, we're kind of spending money to do the pavement, to do the trees, to do the area. Then we're also using grant money, which ultimately comes probably mostly from taxpayer dollars via personal income tax, to do studies kind of to see, you know, what's a value in this town. And then 62% kind of say, you know, outdoor trails and playgrounds, it matters. It makes the town nicer, may keep people here, may bring in people. And then now we're kind of looking at and you clarified that nicely earlier. I had no idea how much of the region was going to go, so it looks like it's a lot smaller than I thought, but still there was a cost to that area back in the day. So I guess I'm kind of concerned about, you know, you take 2 steps forward, you spend the money, and now you're kind of making a different decision, and kind of some of that money that went into that area that may go, it's kind of just going up in flames, I guess would be my comment about everything. But obviously I understand rezoning, there's money involved, things are costly in today's age. So that was basically all my comments. Yeah, thanks for your time.
We appreciate it. Does anybody have any questions for Mr. Sabrovich? Okay, thank you. Okay, is there any other comments? This counts. Oh, okay, go ahead, Mrs. Lawrence.
Deb. I feel that we're going about this kind of backwards. Like, you have a sale, you don't have a sale. If you don't have a sale, we don't need to rezone it. So I don't quite understand why. And it's hard for us to know if we're in favor or not in favor of the proposal because there isn't a proposal.
There's no sale.
Exactly. So why even go ahead with rezoning?
Because if it's not rezoned from institutional to R3, then there's no sense in them buying it.
I understand that. It's a catch-22. What is medium density? Because I just looked on my taxes. I'm a duplex. We're residential. So what's medium density?
Go ahead, Director Lefebvre.
Dale Lefebvre, Infrastructure Planning Development Director. The R3 medium density permitted uses are day homes, duplexes, and what we're talking about is ground-orientated multiple unit dwellings. That's anything with, for permitted use is 3 units and more, and there's no limit on the more other than that when you access these units, it has to be from the outside of the building. So it eliminates apartments. Apartments you have to access from the inside. You go into the hallway and then access your unit. So this would be an R3.
So it's not a number.
It's 3 or more for permitted, and every district has a permitted use and a discretionary use. And discretionary use means that it's allowed once we canvass the adjacent property owners and get their feedback on it. And that includes the same sort of things, group home facilities and show homes, and but no apartments. So the most it can be is any type of a duplex or fourplex or something like that. It's higher density that allows access from the outside of the building.
So a walk-up apartment would qualify?
If they're accessing from the outside,
Okay,
yes.
all right. I think that's it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so at this time, I hereby declare this public hearing for Bylaw 05-2025, amending land use bylaw, closed at 6:59.